And we're back with some more Western Michigan Broncos franchise mode in FHM 9. And in this one, we have the start of year number 4, I believe it is. And for the most part, our roster is the same as last year with an exception. Well, a couple of exceptions, actually. In the case of Dupuis, Zapp, and Ratty, they were all supposed to be freshmen last year. However, they were all redshirted. So this is their freshman year. And then you have Lachlan Tetarenko, who we got last year on National Signing Day. And if we take a look at his bio, the mock draft had him ranked at number 130. He was picked at number 3 by the Anaheim Ducks. So good to know that the mock draft has, once again, absolutely no effect on how I do my drafting in FHM 9, except if maybe there's a tiebreaker, like between two players. If I'm just totally unsure of which player I want to choose, then maybe I'll take the highest ranked player. But still, that's that is something I was hoping was going to be fixed for FHM 9, and doesn't look like it. Anyway, mocking the mock draft aside, let's get to the start of the year number 4 simulation. Oh, right, we need to assign captains. For the captain, I think it has to be Lindfors because he's already the first alternate. And he had 30 points in 33 games last year. It's between him and Cardona. Yeah, I think I would go with Lindfors here as the new captain of your Western Michigan Broncos. And the new alternate in his place will be, I think, Tinling. Ooh, getting an injury early here. Oh no, 1%. It's Ozelinch down with a major injury. Not good. Not good. He's one of our better defensemen there, as he is number 3 on the depth chart, so that is definitely a huge blow. So let's see, all of October, November, December, and January. He's not coming back till February. Maybe late January. Maybe. That's if he's closer to 3 months than 4. Ugh, not a good one. Oh no. Dupuis and Sioland. 1 to 2 months with a sprained finger, 2 to 3 months with a torn ribcage. We're getting him out of the way early. Armin Jesus said you're getting him out of the way early this year. And it's all to our defensive core. Oh, man. Oh, boy. It's one of those years. One of those years, isn't it? I mean, we're doing well so far. We're 7-1, but that's like half our defensive core now due to long-term injury. Oh, man. Yep, Sioland, Dupuis, and Ozelinch all down for at least 1 to 2 months. So I believe we are going to have to, we're going to have to either switch a forward to defense or get a dreaded walk-on defenseman. We may as well get a walk-on just for an extra player here. Walk-on RD. Excuse me? What just happened? I clicked walk-on RD, didn't I? Under walk-on RD. Why can't I get a walk-on RD? What about lefty? No. I have 5 defensemen. Why can't I get a walk-on? Do I have too many forwards or something? No, I mean, I do have a lot of forwards, so I could probably put one of them on D, but still, like, I have 4 roster spots open. I should be able to get a a walk-on. That's a weird one. All right, I'll put Ratty at defense because he seems, in the one game that he's played so far, he has a 74 defensive grade. And to look at his defensive ratings, they're not bad. I think could be better, but, you know, they're not terrible. So I think we'll put him at right D for right now. That's so weird. Why can't I sign a walk-on player? What about a walk-on forward? No, it doesn't look like it. The player total didn't go up. Not sure what's going on there. That's an odd one. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if I'm missing something that is preventing me from doing that, but that's strange. All right, so we are on November 10th, which is, of course, National Signing Day. So before that, we're going to take a look at our stats and see what we've been doing so far. Currently, we are 7-2-1. We have lost our last 2 games, unfortunately, though we do sit second in our division, so it's not that bad. Just got to make sure we don't spiral. And in goal, Bruveris and Hambly have played, it looks like. Hambly with the 911 save percentage in 5 games, and in 5 games for Bruveris, a 963 save percentage. The man is on fire so far this season. Defenseman, you have Davidson with 5 points, 4 for Cardona, D'Alessandro, and Kroll, 3 for Stenger, and 1 for Zapp, who of course is normally a forward, but is playing defense because I can't sign a backup defenseman for whatever reason. And at forward, you have Lindfors and Tetarenko with 10 points. So Tetarenko, the latest 3rd overall draft pick into the NHL, starting out his NCAA career on a high note. Then you have Kettinen with 7, 6 for Goshsik, Brooks, and Tinling, 5 for Portillo in 5 games. So Gustav Portillo having a good season so far, despite his somewhat low ratings and only had a 2.5 star ability. Conradson Kelvgaard in 6 games with 5 points. Zinchenko with 4, 3 for Smith, Izagai, and Stenman. 2 for Holchak, Sinkinen, and Grenier, and Yuntorp. And then 1 for Lundberg, Persson, Doucette, and Lemashevsky. And then 0 for Ratty and Risto. And now look at the team stats. Goals for per game, we are 11th in the league with a 3.8. And goals against per game, we are 4th in the league with a 1.4. Not bad at all. Faceoffs, we are 2nd in the league with a 58.8. Wow. We're dominating the faceoff circle. Unfortunately, same cannot be said for our power play. We're currently sitting at a 14.3 there. However, the penalty kill, 96% on 25 opportunities. So not bad at all there either. So really the only area that needs to be improved is power play, really, but everything else looks to be firing pretty well. So with that being said, let's get into National Signing Day. I can't imagine that we'll be able to sign too many players here, considering that they changed it recently so that you can't have more players than there are spots available on your team next year, if I'm correct. But I'm pretty sure that that's how they changed it to be in the latest update. So definitely need to mind who we're picking here. And we're actually at number 5 in the draft order, shockingly, despite our performance last season. So I'm not entirely sure how the draft order works here in the NCAA. But nonetheless, it looks like there is a 4.5-star ability, Blake Fiddler. He looks incredible. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get our hands on him, especially since he has verbally committed to Minnesota Duluth. But if we do manage to get him, that'd be phenomenal. And it looks like we only have 1 verbal commitment here on the board in Gordon Jennings, 7 intelligence. Ouch. Looks like he's a pretty good defenseman though. Shot blocking at 16, stick checking at 14, defensive read only 11 though. So he seems like he'd be more of an offensive defenseman just based off his offensive ratings compared to that defensive read. All right, interesting. So let's see who is picked at number 1. Arnold Curry, 4-star potential. No, I'm going to say no to that. I have to be a little picky about my selections here. 1.5-star potential. No, thank you. Why are you getting selected at number 2? It must be because he's a verbal commitment of Ohio State, but still, really? A 1.5-star player this early? Okay, suit yourself. 4-star player, no. Next nomination. 5-star player, Harrison Bettinger. I mean, he's a goaltender. Do we really need a goaltender? We have a junior, a sophomore, and a senior. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. I kind of want to try for Fiddler. And if I select Bettinger here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take Fiddler because I don't know if I'm going to have enough roster spots. All right, I'll do it, but I won't offer him a scholarship because I'm not like 100% sold on him, but I'll offer him for the sake of getting a freshman goaltender. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, Denver. So it's our pick here. Do we go for Gordon Jennings, the 7 intelligence defenseman, who pretty good at shot blocking, but overall better offensively than he is defensively? Or do I attempt to steal Blake Fiddler? He's a right defenseman, so they're both defensemen. Blake Fiddler is almost undoubtedly better. He was picked by Boston in the entry draft last year at number 12. Do I take the chance? Well, first of all, we have to consider, is Fiddler, we have to make a guess to whether or not Fiddler is going to be playing in the NHL next year or not. If the answer to that is yes, then this pick will be basically completely wasted. But at the same time, if he doesn't go to the NHL next year and we get a year out of Blake Fiddler, a 4.5-star ability defenseman, that could pay off in spades. I mean, he's not committed to us, but still, it's very tempting. Let's take a look at Jarrett Ross here. He's got the 15 intelligence. He's only a 3.5-star ability, but I mean, overall, Fiddler's the better player. You can't deny it. He is much better as a player based off these ratings. I mean, obviously, the scouting potential is at ease, so I'm not sure if these ratings are entirely accurate, but he seems like he's a pretty good player considering he was taken at number 12 in the entry draft, right? Jarrett Ross was taken at number 30 by the Rangers in the same draft. Our defensive core currently is looking like 1 junior in Cardona. The rest are sophomores and Zap's a forward normally. And then, of course, on the injury list, you have Seoland, Dupuis, and Ozelinch. Dupuis a freshman. However, Ozelinch and Seoland are juniors. It wouldn't be a bad idea to get a freshman defenseman in there. I mean, we could really go either way with this pick. We could go goaltender or we could go defenseman, and both would be just as beneficial. I have to try for Fiddler, okay? I know I'm going to regret this if I don't at least try for him. Maybe I'll regret it anyway if he ends up going to the NHL, but I still want to try. If we do get at least 1 year out of him, then it might be worth it. It might very well be worth the payoff. So nominate Blake Fiddler Can we not offer him a scholarship? Doesn't appear so. We can offer him partial. Ooh, that actually, that changes it a little bit. I mean, I guess no matter who we nominate, we're not going to be able to give a full scholarship to, right? But do I play it safe and go for Jennings then, since I can't give the full scholarship? Ugh, I don't know. He was taken at 108 in the draft by the Bruins. I feel like I could get Jennings later. I really feel like I could get Jennings later, because the fact that he's verbally committed to this team, probably, I don't know for certain. I do not know this for certain, but I'm gonna guess that it makes it less likely for other teams to go after him. So just based off that, I'm gonna take a chance on Fiddler, and then when our next nomination comes around, or whenever Jennings is nominated by another team, then I'll go after him. I mean, I think that's got to be the play here. All right, please, please, please. Yeah, Fiddler. Blake Fiddler has joined your Western Michigan Broncos pending academic eligibility. So that 10 intelligence is going to be, it is a little concerning, but nonetheless, we still got a fantastic player on board with your Western Michigan Broncos. Let's go. And he is actually, now that we have a full scouting report, he's not only a 4.5 star, but he is a 5-star ability. A 5-star ability freshman. So now really all we need to happen is for him not to be in the NHL next year. So I hate to delay his NHL debut, but I gotta want him on my roster next year. so that this pick isn't wasted. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Western Michigan Broncos, Blake Fiddler. All right, back to National Signing Day. And I guarantee you now that someone's going to take Jennings, and I'm going to get karma'd right in the rear end. But you know what? That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Next nomination. Let's see. I'm just going to say no to most of these players, honestly. Unless, like, they really stand out. But it's not looking like it. Ooh, Vincent Rodriguez. I'm telling you, the defensemen in this draft, or National Signing Day, I should say, are, like, juiced. Vincent Rodriguez is a 3-star ability, 5-star potential. I mean, he's pretty well-rounded, too. I'm considering it. I am considering it. So hold on. Why can I offer him a full scholarship, but I can't? I couldn't do it for my own nomination. That's strange. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or something else going on there, but it seems weird that I can offer a full scholarship to this guy who is not my nomination, but I couldn't on my own nomination. Picked at 120 by Philly, really. I mean, I know he's not as good as Mr. Fiddler there. Oh my god, that 5-star ability. But still, like, that's, I would think he would go higher than 120, just based off what I saw out of him. Yeah, like, I would say that's probably 2nd round material at least. And it's not like this is mock draft shenanigans either, because he was ranked at 125. He was taken right around where he was ranked. So I can't even blame the mock draft for that. That's very interesting. But still, if it were me, I would have ranked him higher for sure, just based off what I'm seeing. Now, to take him or no, what's the depth chart looking like? I mean, we have plenty of defensemen who are in the system, and if Fiddler plays in the NHL next year, then I do kind of want to have a backup for him just in case. So yeah, I think I'll offer him. I'll offer him a full scholarship. Did we get him? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Oh, this is new. This is a new one. Since the player's preferred team did not offer him a scholarship, he decided to delay entering college till next year in the hope that he can get a scholarship. He will not sign with anyone this year. Really? Interesting. I haven't seen that before until now. So what happens to the pick? Does it just null and void? All right, here we are, our pick. So Ross and Jennings are both still on the board up to this point. So if we can get one of them, then that pick of Blake Fiddler at number 5 was just galaxy brain, like 2,000 IQ. Oh man, I wish I could compare Jennings and Ross on the draft list like I can in the entry draft. Here it doesn't look like there's a way to do that. I mean, I can add them to the short list, sure, but I don't really want to go out of my way to go back to the roster screen just to use the short list. Guess we'll have to just do it the old-fashioned way here. I mean, overall, Ross definitely looks better than Jennings. Not to mention his intelligence is way higher too. Jennings is the better shot blocker for sure, but Ross looks better everywhere else. So yeah, I don't think there's really any debating this. All right, Jarrett Ross. Yeah, there you go. 2 of our choice defensemen joining the team next year in Jarrett Ross and hopefully in Blake Fiddler for at least a year. So let's take a look at him. Now, his real rating, Jarrett Ross's real ability is indeed 3.5 stars. So yeah, that's like That is a solid defensive core coming in next year. I mean, if you take a look at our defensive chart, Blake Fiddler is already the number one defenseman on our team, and he's not even on our team yet. So the fact that we got not only him, but Jarrett Ross too, I mean, our defensive core is looking set. I mean, obviously, we'll have to draft new defensemen eventually, since this is college and players don't usually stay for more than 4 years. But still, at the very least, we are sufficiently prepared on defense for next year. Okay, so Gordon Jennings was just taken, but looks like by Minnesota Duluth, who, oddly enough, was the team that Blake Fiddler was supposed to go to, or the team he was committed to anyway. So I find that very ironic that we basically just swapped players there, in a sense, not literally, but in that we stole each other's verbal commitments. So I think with this pick, I'm going to get a goaltender. Probably going to be Gauthier, because he's got that 14 intelligence. He's already a 2.5 star ability. He's by far the best player on the board at this point. So I don't think there's really any debating this. And my roster limit is reached. Okay. So it looks like we will not be nominating anymore. Stop nominating. And that will be it for a somewhat short yet very, very productive National Signing Day for your Western Michigan Broncos, getting the rights to not only Jarrett Ross, but Blake Fiddler as well. So I think with that being said, we will advance up to the verbal commitments, and then we'll end things off there. All right, looks like I have to change Taden Ratty to a defenseman after all, because we just got another defenseman injury. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, he'll be back soon. It's just heel soreness, but still, the fact that I can't find a walk-on defenseman is so weird. It's just not working at all. And I have no idea why. It's not like we don't have any roster spots. So Ratty, you're going to go on defense temporarily. We have a playmaker and a grinder on the back end. So that third defensive pair is going to be a bit rough, I would imagine. Oh boy, Ozelinch with a setback. Not good. He's out for an additional 1 to 2 months now. So he might miss the entire regular season. Anyway, we are on January 1st now. We are 11-5-2, currently putting us third in the NCHC. Point-wise, you have Tetarenko leading the way with 18 points in 18 games played. Lindfors with 17, 14 for Kettinen, 13 for Tinling, 12 for Gotchik and Brooks, 9 for Davidson and Izagai, 7 for Pertillo, Zinchenko, Stenger, D'Alessandro, and Cardona, 6 for Zapp, Stenman, Smith, and Kroll, Holchak, Konrads, and Kelgard, and Grenier with 5, 4 for Lemashevsky, 3 for Sinkinen, Persson, and Juntorp, 2 for Lundberg and Ratty, 1 for Doucette and Risto. And then in goal, Bruveris in 10 games played, 3 shutouts and a 925 save percentage, and Hambly in 8 games played with the 908 and 1 shutout. And now let's check out the team stats. Goals for per game, we are setting 5th in the league with a 3.89. And goals against per game, we are setting 5th with a 2 goals against per game. Faceoffs, we are 1st in the league with a 57.3. Ooh, power plays worse than before, 13.3. 51st in the league. Not pretty. That's definitely been a weakness of ours in so far this GM mode. But the penalty kill is looking great, 91.1, 2nd in the league. So no issues really. Obviously, I would like it if the power play could fix itself, but for the most part, we seem to be doing pretty well. So with that, I'll end things off here. And the next one, we will get through the rest of year number 4 with your Western Michigan Broncos. See you guys then.